This is 11 Stoic rules for a better life, according to Marcus Aurelius. And I've kept this very simple to understand. So if you watch this video, you will understand these 11 Stoic rules from Marcus Aurelius, rules that he actually learned and wrote about because I read them in his meditations and I've practiced them for over a decade. And of course, I'm keeping it very simple, just like all my work, just like my book. I didn't say that. You guys left some lovely reviews saying that you finally understand Stoicism because of my book. So number one is to be a student of life, to always be learning. What this says is to just accept that you don't know everything and that every day, every moment is an opportunity to learn. Just because you've graduated school, your education doesn't stop. Just because you're in a new job role where you have to learn about engineering or buses or trains or clouds, whatever your job is. Just because you're doing this doesn't mean your life's education is over. In fact, every day is a chance to learn more. The reason we do this is because if we stop and we're ignorant and arrogant and we stop our education, then we become sedentary. We stay still. And things that stay still actually degrade and break down. And this will happen with you. If you just stay there thinking you know everything, you actually become more and more ignorant and uneducated. So the way in which Marcus Aurelius did this, and you can read this in his Meditations, chapter 1, is he writes what he learned from everyone in his life. All the lessons he learned. And he's like built like this map from what he learned from his mother, which was piety and generosity, what he learned from his grandfather Varus, what he learned from his tutor, Junius Rusticus, all these things, decency and mild temper, what he learned from his adoptive father. And he wrote all these things and he remembered them because he was learning something from every single interaction he had. And it's reported that way into his old age, when he was very ill, he still attended lectures and classes. This is how you keep the mind sharp and astute. This is how you always broaden your wisdom. But not just this, your life experiences. If you go into every moment as a chance to learn, you will learn. But the opposite is true. So number 2, neither slave nor tyrant. So simply put, this is don't be a victim, but also don't be a bully. They called this, the victim mentality kind of was what they called a slave mentality. And then a bully mentality is what they call a tyrant mentality. So why you do this is, number one, if you're a victim, as Marcus Aurelius writes, then everything that happens in life you complain about and you get the worst of it. You know, bad weather. Oh, how shameful is my life, it's raining. You don't have to complain about that. It's outside of your control. And people say this is, you know, like right at one end is the slave mentality where you're a victim to life, you're weak. And they think, well, the opposite must be great. This leader, this tyrant, you know, that's the other end. That's great power. We're actually just as terrible as each other. The great tyrants were the people that just used others, they abused others, they were horrible to others, and they treated others terribly. You have to find a balance in the middle where you're not a victim, you're not a tyrant, you're a man, you're a woman, you're in control of your life. And how you do this is to take full responsibility for your actions and your emotions, but avoid trying to control others and that which is outside of your control. As Marcus Aurelius said, you are a citizen of the world. Why then do you hesitate to act? You are neither a slave nor tyrant, that's supposed to say. Be a person who contributes to the whole. So number 3, to have aim. What this is to know what you're aiming at so that you don't just drift around. You know, if you can put as much effort going forward, driving with your life with motivation, inspiration, and drive and grit, determination, but if you have no direction, you might just be going around in a circle, burning yourself to the ground. So you have direction. Why you do this is a Stoic life is one of intention and purpose. And how you do this is by setting clear goals and stay focused on your goals, stay focused on your values, and move forward with clarity. So I won't get too philosophical with this. I won't get too Stoic with this. But the Stoics' main goal was to be a good person. That was to follow virtue, to live in accordance with nature. To live in accordance with nature ultimately is to follow virtue, to be a good person. So courage, wisdom, temperance, justice, these good characteristics, that's what they aim towards. So ultimately you should aim towards that, but I'm not going to tell you what you want to do, but just at least have an aim so you don't just keep wandering around. You know, if you want to be a YouTuber and you want to make YouTube videos, have that aim and have goals that get you towards there. Don't spend your days kicking a football if you want to be a musician, that kind of thing, you know, have those goals set. And if you have them set, you're way more productive. I've always noticed this myself. It's like, if you have no goals set, you're working for like 18 hours a day and you kind of dilly-dallying, like wishy-washy work. You get it done, but you also do loads of procrastinating. And if you have your goals set and say, I need to get them done in this certain period of time, you'll get them done much faster than you thought, because you don't realize how much time you waste until you focus on how much time you waste. Seneca said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. That is true. That is very true. And Marcus Aurelius said, don't act as if you have 1,000 years to live. Focus on what matters now. So, you know, at the end, when you go into bed, write a little list for your morning and say, just 3 goals. If I get these done by the end of the day, I'll be happy with myself. I'll be pleased that I did these 3 things. And get them done in the morning, get them done as fast as you can. So you feel proud of yourself. You feel like you've achieved something and you've made progress. Number 4, be like the wrestler, not the dancer. Life is a struggle, not a performance. Why you do this is to be grounded, flexible, and strong like a wrestler, not a dancer. You want to be grounded and ready with astute focus and attention to what life can throw at you. So life can throw rude people at you, and you're ready for this. You're ready. A rude person could hit me right now. You're ready. Like a wrestler, they get thrown one way. They're ready to take on that attack, that challenge. And ultimately, they've seen that life is your wrestling partner, your sparring partner. That every time they twist you that way, they're teaching you something. Every time they try to take you down at your knees, they're teaching you a way to avoid being taken down at your knees, so that you can get the upper hand each time. Life is a sparring partner, and you have to be ready like a wrestler. So you learn all your principles and practices on how to be a good person, how to live a good life. And I would personally recommend you learn that from Stoicism. And if you want to learn it from Stoicism, just follow me, because I'm teaching you how to live a good life. I'm teaching you how to be like the wrestler. But for a wrestler to be a good wrestler, they need to learn all the tricks and they need to build all the strengths that it takes to be a good wrestler. They're not just a focus on the competition. They need all those things. So I'm going to teach you all those things so you can keep that attention to being a wrestler in life. You have everything ready. So when life throws you an annoying person, you're like, and this is just nature. Annoying people are part of nature, but they can teach me a little bit of patience. I can learn this. You twist that way. It starts raining. You're like, you can dance in rain or soak in rain. It will rain regardless. I'm ready for it. I'm going to enjoy the rain, in fact. And you're always ready for challenge. Marcus Aurelius said the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. It requires being prepared to meet and deal with things as they come. Number 5, seek the truth. Truth is inherently good. What this says is to face reality even when it's hard. Why you do it? Truth clears confusion and it brings peace, while self-deception leads to suffering. That's true. Self-deception leads to suffering. How you do it? Pursue honesty, confront difficult truths, and avoid comforting lies. Ultimately, the truth is the truth. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you try and do. The truth will always be true. And number 1, this makes you a good character. If you're always honest, it makes you a good character. People go, oh, he's honest, he's loyal, I respect that. But number 2 is actually telling the truth to yourself. You see, people will lie to themselves on many things. I used to do this when I was working out when I was younger. I'd work out 7 days a week. I was very dedicated. I'd always be working out. And I did that kind of to fuel my ego, to be like, I'm always working out. I'm the hardest worker. But ultimately, I knew that wasn't the best thing for progress. The best thing for progress was to get the right rest and get the right program. but I couldn't actually be bothered to do that. I just wanted to work out every day. So being honest with myself, I says, right, I need to cut down the workouts. I need to get a proper program. I need to get proper nutrition. I need to get the correct rest. That's what's actually most important, not looking like I'm working really hard. That's a very superficial one, but that's like everything in life. Most of your challenges, when someone's rude to you and you get insulted and offended, and you say that's because they're a bad person. We avoid the truth that actually it was our fault, our mistake most times. We was the one in the wrong. We'll avoid that to be comfortable. So seek the truth. Marcus Aurelius said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is perspective, not the truth. So we see something happen, we make our perspective of it, we make our story, our narrative, so that it can oftentimes feel our ego and what we want. If we can just actually just take it as it is, Marcus Aurelius often says, you take the first impression, do not change it. You just see what happens, you don't keep changing it in your mind to fit your narrative, and then remember your aim of being a good person. Number 6, be present. So what it is to focus on here and now, not the past or future. Why we do it? Most of our pain is rooted in past regrets or future anxieties. Real life happens only in the present. So how we do this is to practice mindfulness, limit distractions, and center yourself in the moment. As Marcus Aurelius said, confine yourself to the present. The past does not exist. It is just a memory. The future does not exist. It's an imagination. All that exists is this middle, the center right here, the present moment. That's all we'll ever have. And living in the past will make you feel regret. And also, we compare our present to the past, to an imagination, to a memory, which can make us feel like, oh, the good old days. Oh, life was the good old days. They weren't the good old days. They were exactly the same. It's just your mindset is different. And then the future, exactly the same. We have future anxieties, future worries, or future miracles. So we delay the present. Do never delay the present. The present is a gift, and it is all we have. And trust me, honestly, when I say this is one of the greatest things I ever did. To get present every day, it removes so much worries. If you're worrying about the past, just go, right, be present. It's not there anymore. Number 7, do good for the sake of good. What it says, to help others without expecting a return. Marcus Aurelius said, you've done good, they've received it. Why then, like fools, do you wait for a third thing in return? True virtue is selfless, and good actions make the world better. How you do this is, simple things. Offer your time, you offer your kindness and effort without attaching personal gain or recognition. You have to remove this idea of receiving a reward. That's the main thing. Remove the idea of receiving a reward. You pick up litter, you don't need any reward. Your reward is in doing something good. You help someone. You don't need them to say thank you or give you reimbursements or whatever. You've done the good, and that's good enough. Making yourself a good person, making the world a better place, you can't ask for anything else. Marcus Aurelius said, what is good for the hive, what is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. Number 8, less is more. So embrace simplicity. Why do it? Simplicity brings peace, reduces stress, and increases focus. It's crazy. We're in this world of like more. We want more and more. And we think that's making our lives better. Attaining more, achieving more, getting more, gaining more, acquisition. When really it's just about experience. And we can't experience our life with all these things in the way. So, as Bruce Lee said, hack away at the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. How to do this is to own less, want less, and cultivate gratitude for what you have. Stop trying to get more. Just be grateful for what you have. Think things through before you get those new shoes. In your head, you're like, oh, it'll make me so happy. Just think about getting those new shoes. £120, whatever they are, $120. I don't know how much shoes are. But I do, some shoes. But anyway, I'm on about the sneakers that everyone wants to buy. You want to spend $120, think what that entails. Last time you spent $120 on a pair of shoes, you thought, oh, I've just wasted my wages. I could have actually spent that on something useful. Now I'm struggling to pay rent. I'm a month behind. The shoes brought me one day of satisfaction. I got one cool picture. And actually, the cool picture don't really mean much because what do I care about a few likes? Just think these things through before getting them, basically. And then think of the opposite is like how freeing your life would be if you didn't have attachment to all these things. You didn't need everything. You didn't want for everything. You know, I just got a car. I've been catching a bus. I'm 29 now. I've just got a car like a month ago, and one thing, it's like added a little bit of stress to my life because I'm always worrying about it getting scratched, parking in a certain area where someone might scratch it or damage it, and it's just added unnecessary things to my life that I don't need. Yeah, it's helped my life a lot. But if I got a car that I had no care in the world about, maybe because it's not my car, so I don't want to scratch someone else's car. If I had a car that was mine, it was cheap, I didn't care about, then it does the thing of driving me around, which is great, and I can take my daughter around and I can carry the shop in without going on a bus, all that kind of things. So it would help in that way. But I'm not worrying about it scratching. The point is, we often think getting new things makes our life better, but most time it actually makes it worse. Just think about how it makes it worse. So Epictetus, who was a slave turned philosopher, one of my favorite philosophers, he said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The man that wants nothing is the richest man on earth, because even a billionaire that wants more and more and more doesn't have everything that they want. So if you want to become rich, start removing desires. This is a fact. Diogenes the Cynic, great philosopher, he had nothing. He slept naked on the street. Actually, he owned a bowl for a while, and he would have his food in it, his water in it. And then one day he's seen a kid cupping water into his mouth, and he was discarded his bowl, and he was like, fool that I am for carrying so much baggage for so long. But he was rich. Alexander the Great, who had billions, came to visit him one day, and he was like, Diogenes, I'm Alexander the Great. What can I give you? I can give you anything. And he said, move out of the way of the sun. I don't need anything. And he was richer than Alexander the Great because he wanted nothing. Alexander the Great still wanted things. Anyway, number 9, develop life principles. What it says is to know your values and to live by them. Why you do this is principles serve as a compass for when life becomes chaotic. So if you have your values, when life gets every day you have a direction to go in, but when life gets really hard and you don't know what to do, you have your compass to follow. How you do this is to write down your values, refine them over time, and use them as to guide your decisions. So again, I'm going to say this, you can have your own values in life, religious values, some great ones that offer great guidance for you in hard times. There's other philosophies, there's mentors, there's family values, there's societal values, whatever it is you want to follow. I personally do recommend the values of Stoicism. I think they're great. They've been refined for over thousands of years. They were set thousands of years ago, and they were made brilliant, almost perfect. I think they're great. They've helped me go from shy, anxious, sad, without direction, to someone that's happy and confident and successful in life. Just personally, like I'm not saying I'm successful like that. I just mean personally, I feel very successful. I feel like one of the most successful men in the world. That's just how I feel, because I feel good all the time. And I like my life. If you want to develop your Stoic values, just follow what I do, like my teachings. Don't follow me around, please. Read my book, whatever it is. Read the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus' Discourses. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Number 10, memento mori. Remember, you will die. What this is acknowledging that life is short and uncertain. Why you do this is death makes our life meaningful by reminding you to focus on what truly matters. And how you do this is to reflect on your mortality and prioritize actions that align with your values. I have been doing this. I can't recommend this enough. I've been doing this for so many years, and it just gets better and better. The deeper you can get into this thought, the more it will impact your life. And yeah, I know some people might find it pretty scary, and some people I might even not recommend it to. But if you're one of those people that are okay thinking about death for a bit, it does make you a bit uncomfortable sometimes. Not anymore for me. It doesn't make me as uncomfortable. But that means I'm just not thinking about it deep enough. It used to make me very uncomfortable. I used to have an intense fear of death. I couldn't sleep. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's just a fact of life, like the leaves falling from the trees. Like the changings of the seasons. We're going to die at some point. So why don't we just make the most of what we have right here, right now? I remember I brought up this topic to Shihangyi at the Shaolin Temple in Europe, and I was saying, we could die, and we're going to die at some point. So like we may as well live every moment like it was our last. And he said, well, actually, Death could be right around this corner. We could be talking right now and you could die. So get real, get in this moment as you're listening to me, as I'm talking to you. I could die right now. You know, a car could crash through these windows and run me over. Neve could throw a chair at my head. Probably not. But anything can happen. And we have to take advantage of this moment. Live it as if it was your last. That does not mean party, go out drinking, go out skydiving. It means to live. If you only had this moment to live, God put you here and said, sit in front of this and speak. How will you most enjoy it? You'll do it fully with every essence of your being and be fully present and enjoy that experience with every fibre of your being. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. And that's what you should be doing right now as you're listening to me. And Marcus Aurelius said you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. And last but not least, journal. I learned this from Marcus Aurelius because his book, The Meditations, is basically a journal. It's just his thoughts. Although people misinterpret it a little bit, it was a practice in a way. It was a Stoic practice. He's putting his Stoicism into practice through journaling. It's a great technique. What it says is engage in daily reflection through writing. Why you do this is journaling helps you understand your mind, track growth, and clarify your thoughts. And how you do this is to set time each day to write down your thoughts and challenges and insights. You can do it on your phone. Write down your thoughts. Just do it once a day, maybe at night. Collect your thoughts and put them down. It helps clear your mind. Problems are crazy up here. They're swirling around with so many thoughts and noise. But if you get them down on a piece of paper, they become way more simple. You're not catastrophizing within your mind. This is a Stoic exercise, is decatastrophizing. You just put it down there and you can see it in front of you. And it also helps track progress, which is great. If you do not track progress, it's hard to ever learn. I learned this from my brother Luke. We're talking about chess. I'm trying to get better than him. He's just way too good for me. I can't beat him. And he gave me a word of advice. Says, stop just playing and playing and playing games and games and games, because I do it on my phone most of the time. He said, analyze the game after. This is where you learn. So put these into action. Try some of these today. Maybe just try one. Let me know which one you're going to do. Let me know if it helps you. And thank you for listening. And one thing is, sorry about the cuts today. I'm trying out a new format. I try not to cut. I don't know if you've noticed. I try not to cut things because I don't like that every creator and person on the internet is like, it's cut. Feels a bit weird, personally, just for me. And also, I just like talking to the camera. It's hard. You know, when you think about cutting, it takes you back out of the thoughts. Anyway, the reason I cut is because I'm trying out a new format and the screen recording kept cutting out. So I do apologize if you follow me for my uncut videos. I will never cut again. Well, I probably will. Fate permitting. Anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm going to be doing more of this idea. I'm just trying it out today, tweak it, see how it goes. Let me know if you like it. And if you've read my book, please leave a review. And thank you to the great people that have been leaving the reviews. The reviews are wonderful. I'm very thankful. I like to read them. And I like to read them again. Just in the morning, I'll look at the Amazon author center, and I just look at the reviews sometimes, just see how things are going, see the feedback, and it's just cool. Leave honest reviews. Don't have to give me 5 stars just because I sent you there. Just do what you want. Thank you for listening.